Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed by U Barbie college basketball standout turned pro, turns to the crowd dead in the eyes and let it fly, not a path, not a look, a full-on middle finger. And just like that, boom, social media detonates. Suddenly, it's not about the game anymore. It's not about stats or strategy or even team loyalty. It's about Angel Reese, her middle finger, and symbolic middle finger allowed people think she just gave it, lead the fans, and maybe, just maybe, the Caitlin Clark herself, because oh yeah, of course, she's in the mix. This wasn't just a one-off gesture. Caught in the heat competition, this was a spark in a powder keg has been building for months, maybe even years, and what followed back. If you're here for the real story and not filtered version, subscribe. And if you're sticking around for the next meltdown, you better definitely subscribe. Glass think pieces, TV segments, impassioned Twitter threads, and a growing sense that the WNBA spiral into a public relations minefield it might not walk out of. So how we get here? Let's rewind. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were already the center of attention when they were battling it out in college. Their rivalry, part skill, part drama, part good old-fashioned trash talk, gay women's basketball, or ratings boom the league hadn't seen in decades. It was cinematic. Yeah, the poised sharpshooter from Iowa with Steph Curry-style range and a growing national fan base, and the outspoken powerhouse from LU who wasn't afraid to flex on camera and call out double standards. It was a perfect clash of brands, and when both made the jump to the WNBA, fans followed in droves. Clark became the golden ticket, selling out arenas in cities that hadn't seen a sellout ever. Jersey sales to the roof, ratings higher than some NBA playoff games. Suddenly, the WNBA had a front-facing star with mass market appeal, crossover potential, and money written all over her. But here's the catch: all that stardom came with a target on her back. Caitlin Clark, whether intentionally or not, became the league's cash cow, and everyone knew it. The media worshipped her, sponsors lined up, the WNBA leaned into momentum, but not everyone was celebrating. Some players seemed annoyed, others straight up hostile. Physical play against Clark escalated, and soon it wasn't as hard defense, it was elbows, shelves, and fouls, and of fans yelling, "Or we even protecting her at this point?" Then came the foul, heard around the internet too. Cindy Carter body checked Clark with a kind of hit that would have drawn a flag in NFL, and the refs crickets, no whistle, just another day. The clip went viral, sports and or ran on repeat. And the question everyone was asking: why isn't the league doing more protect its biggest star? Fast forwarded. Clark's injury, yes, injury, and suddenly the problem wasn't just the radical. She was sidelined, ratings dropped, arena attendance dipped, merch sales cooling, and the WNBA found itself face to face with a very inconvenient truth. This lead depends on Caitlin Clark, which brings us right back to Angel Reese and that middle finger. Because this wasn't just about flipping off them hecklers. No, this felt personal. It felt like a declaration, a messy, defiant, deeply controversial one. Fans on social media instantly drew the line: Team Reese versus Team Clark. One side defending Angel's right to express herself and vent her frustration, the other calling her out for unsportsmanlike conduct and dragging the league reputation into the mud. And then Stephen A. Smith and had a chat. The ESPN firebrand, never want to sit on the sidelines, took the airwaves to deliver a scathing monologue that might as well but a televised intervention for the WNBA. His main point: the league failed to protect its biggest asset, and in doing so it endangered not just Caitlin Clark, but the entire league. Shot and mainstream relevance. Stephen was heated. He didn't sugarcoat it. If the WNBA doesn't learn how to manage star power, enforce professionalism, and protect its stars from unnecessary violence and hostility, it is going to implode. And honestly, he's not wrong. Look around. Without Clark on the court, games that use a draw 10, 15, 20,000 people are barely fill in the lower bowl. Social media engagement plummets, sponsors star ghosting. Suddenly, all those carefully crafted narratives about the league rise and together feel like a pipe dream built on one person's shoulders. The truth is, Caitlin Clark is not just a player, she's the engine, and the WNBA it's driving with no seatbelt. And here's the worst part: they knew this from the second she stepped onto a WNBA court. The league saw the number spike. They moved games, the bigger venues, to accommodate her draw. They rerouted marketing the center face. They even shifted broadcast deals to maximize your exposure. But when it came time protect her on the floor, silence, indifference, or worse, an undercurrent of resentment from inside league itself. Now none of this is to say Angel Reese is the villain. That's too simplistic. She's talented. She's magnetic, she's outspoken, a way that should be refreshing, but there's a difference between swagger and spite and flipping off the fans that crosses a line, because at the end of the day those fans are paying to be there, they're buying jerseys, they're supporting the league, and whether Angel Men as a person responds or not, the optics were a disaster. You can't flip off your customer base and expect applause, and yet the backlash wasn't just about that one gesture. Expose a deeper, murkier divide, one about respect, professionalism, and what kind of lead the WNBA wants to be. Is this a lead, protected stars, or let them get Bruce body checked and shut off camera? Is this a league that holds players accountable for behavior that damages the brand, or one that shrugs and says, well, emotions run high? Because here's the thing, no matter how can cover up a broken foundation, if the WNBA can't figure out how to balance individual express and with team professionalism, and it can't shield stars without alienates vet, if it can't manage the media circus without letting it turn into a dumpster fire, then it's gonna lose the one thing you can afford to lose: momentum. It's hard to build a league in the spotlight. It's even harder to stay in it. And right now the WNBA is walking a tightrope, high above arena, no net below. Angel recent gesture might have been a moment frustration, but open the floodgates to a much bigger crisis, a crisis of culture, of leadership, of identity. Is this a league about town or TV ratings? Is about gritty basketball or brands? A stars, because right now it's try be everything at once, and the cracks are starting to show. And Caitlin Clark, she's not just the player caught in the crossfire, she is the fire. She's a reason people are watching, she's a reason sponsors are calling, she's a reason fans, casual hardcore like, are tuning in at all. So when she's sidelined, mistreated, we're left to fend for herself. The entire league bleeds. It's not fair, it's not sustainable. And the WNBA doesn't pivot fast. This moment go down not as a blip, but as a breaking point. Meanwhile, court drama rolls on. Ange resists, still making headlines, and Caitlin Clark is still under a magnifying glass. The league is still banking on stars, is not fully protecting, and fans, they're just hoping the next viral clip is a buzzer beater. Now another meltdown, because the truth is the WNBA, a future is hanging in the bay balance, and it might just come down one question: will this league learn protective crown jewels or keep dropping them until there's nothing left to shine? So what you think was Angel reset a line, or just misunderstood? Is WNBA losing control of his narrative, or finally have any uncomfortable Congress Asians it needs to have? Drop your take in the comments and hit the subscribe button if you are more. Breakdown to the messy his moments in pop culture, sports, and celeb chaos. New drama drops weekly. You don't want to miss it. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they're not just rivals on the court, they become avatars in a way. Bigger, messy, a totally unmanageable culture war. The resentment isn't just between players, is between fandom, between ideologies, between what people think each woman represents. Angel, the unapologetic, outspoken black woman from LSU who talks to talk and backs it up. Linda, clean-cut, humble white girl from Iowa who plays like a cheat code. They are both elite athletes, bowl competitors, both playing to pressure most people can't even fathom. But the world doesn't see nuance, it sees symbols, and the media, oh, they love symbols. So now you got a league built on real people being treated like TikTok personalities in a made-for-TV rivalry. And the second one of them slips or gestures or says the wrong thing in a press conference, cue the outrage machine. And for Angel, that middle finger, it was gasoline on a fire, because some people saw that clip and thought, finally, or one who's not afraid to show emotion. But other side, and went, this is exactly why the league isn't taken seriously. Fair, maybe not, but this isn't about fair, this is about perception. And in 2025, perception is the product. When you flip off the fans, you're not just venting, you're making it brand decision. You're giving every sports pundit, every angry keyboard warrior, every PR department across the country something to chew on. And let's be honest, the WNBA PR team is probably eating terms like Skittles right now. And what makes this mess even more complicated, the league low-key encouraged all this. Think about it, they marketed the rivalry, they spotlighted resist trash talk in college, they used those viral hand gestures, Angel pointing to her ring finger, Clark do any you can't see me gesture as promotional content. They stoked the fire because it got clicks, it got eyeballs, it got people talking. But now that the same energy is playing out in real time with real consequences, they're acting surprised. Come on, you can't sell chaos and in Clutch Your Pearls when delivers you can push a bad girls versus golden girl narrative and then pretend it's just about basketball. The lead profited off the drama, and the drama got too real, and now they're stuck in a fall, because the truth is this isn't just about protecting Caitlin Clark from cheap shots, it's about the entire environment the league created and let fester, a culture where physical play turns personal, where aggressive fouls are treated like normal defense way. Carolyn them play becomes code for letting them get hurt, and guess what, Clark to get hurt, and suddenly the party's over, because when Caitlin Clark is on the court, everyone eats. ESPN eats, ticket vendors eat, the league, the players, the sponsors, they all eat. But when she's off the court, that buffet turns into a vending machine running out of change. So yeah, when a player like Angel flips off the fans and is already fragile moment, it lands differently. It feels like the league's house of cards is shaking, and we're all watching to see if it collapses. And yet this isn't as a villain art for Angel Reese. That's way too easy. You want a real T. Angel is under insane pressure she's not just living in Caitlin's shadow, she's being measured against it constantly. Every point she scores, every and she makes, every step she takes on the court is compared to her, and that kind of constant spotlight, it'll crack anyone eventually, especially when the narrative is already baked. Every time Angel shows emotion, it's attitude. Every time Caitlin does, it's competitive fire. That double standard, it's real, it's exhausting, and honestly, Angel flipping off the crowd might have been her way of saying, I'm done playing by your script. But here's the dilemma, that rebellion comes at cost. The WNBA is still growing. It's fighting for airtime, for sponsorships, for respect, and like it or not, how players behave matters. Flipping off the fans, even if they deserved it. Feed every old school sports pundit who already think the league is too emotional, too messy, to whatever. It gives the haters ammo. And in a league where every moment counts, that's dangerous. And let's not forget, there are real consequences happening already. Teams are seeing attendance drop, the ratings dip. When Clark isn't playing is not a blip, it's a warning sign, the kind of thing that makes network execs reading deals and brand hit pause on campaigns. The ripple effect is real, and it starts with simple question: what happens when a phase of your league is in a knee brace and the most viral moment is a middle finger? The league now finds itself in a branding freefall. They can't discipline Angel too harshly because they look like they're silencing personality. But they do nothing. They send a message that unprofessionalism is fine. It's a lose-lose that they created. Let's call this what it is. The WNBA has a star problem. They have star hours, but no system. They have attention, but no infrastructure. They build a tower of hype without checking foundation, and now they're panicking as it starts to tilt. And here's what's really wild. This was supposed to be the WNBA moment, a new generation of talent, viral clips, historic crowds, legacy franchises getting love again. For the first time in forever, people actually cared, but somewhere along the way the lead forgot that attention comes responsibility. You can't cash in on rivalries without managing the fallout. You can't push your stars into the spotlight without shield them from a fallout. And you definitely can't ignore the signs that your most important player is being targeted until she's literally in a walking boot. So what happens now? Honestly, it's up to the lead, and they're on the clock. They need to tighten up. That means clearer rules, stricter officiating, real discipline. Now, just empty tweets and quiet fines. It means actually having a plan for how to protect your stars and support your role players. Because guess what? The tension between Clark and Reese, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath it, years of unspoken resentment, uneven media attention, cultural clashes, and a league that never really learned how to handle success. They get famous overnight, but they never learn how to be famous. And now the reckoning is here because of Angel Reese keeps being treated like the villain, and Caitlin Clark keeps getting treated like the golden goose. The locker room fractures are only going to deepen. This isn't about one gesture, it's about what happens when personalities clash, agendas collide, and nobody's steering the ship. The league has to grow up fast And that means treating his players like asset, not mascots. It means teaching media literacy and emotional control. It means not sacrificing professionalism at the altar of Rowdy. It means figuring out how to build a culture of respect, even when the cameras are rolling and a heat is on. Because here's the scariest part: of the league doesn't fix this. If it loses Clark, alienates Reese, and burned out every potential storm between, we go right back to where we started, a talented league with no visibility, no bugs, and no future. And that were be the real tragedy. So yeah, Angel Reese flipped off the fans, but the middle finger, that was just a symptom. The disease deeper, and if the lead doesn't treat it, it won't be long before fans start flipping the WNBA the same gesture on their way out the door. This isn't just about Angel or Caitlin, or even the WNBA itself. This is about what happens when a league finally gets a spotlight, then fumbles it publicly, dramatically, with the whole sports world watching like it an episode of Survivor. Courtside edition. Let's go back a second. Thing about the moment we were in before the chaos. The WNBA was finally breaking into the mainstream. People who had watched a women's basketball game since high school gym class were suddenly tuning in. The arenas were full. The vibes were high. The headlines were hopeful, and all that wasn't because of some slow, steady campaign of growth. It was because of a singular phenomenon. Caitlin Clark, love her or hate her, she was a spark, the Steph Curry of Adobe, when be the ticket that turned empty seat in the packed stadiums, the name on everyone's lips. She was the one drawing dads, daughters, casual fans, and haters into the same arena just to see what she'd do next. And when she was shining, the league was shining. But now she's bruised, battered, and sidelined, while the lead try to act like this is fine as at the drama explode around her isn't slowly eroding everything they just build. Because you can't sell your league on a star and then shrug when she's targeted. You can't push her into every promotional graphic and act confused when teams get more aggressive. And you absolutely cannot keep playing it cool while the entire internet spirals into debate over whether your lead protect its own. The truth is, this was never just about basketball. It's about narrative control, and the WNBA, they've lost it now. Every post-game press or becomes a battleground. Every physical foul is a referendum. Every miscall fuels another round of as his Asians. Is a league ignoring violence against Caitlin Clark, our veterans resentful of her fame? Is there a deeper culture, jealousy, tension, and disrespect bubbling underneath? And you know what? Yeah, probably, because that's what happens when a lead tries ride a rocket ship without securing the launch pad. They weren't ready, and it shows. Let's be honest, no amount of viral clips can cover the fact that the WNBA has some serious growing pains. The infrastructure to handle this kind of explosive fame, not there. The media training to handle controversial stars, missing the leadership needed to keep peace between rookies and vets asleep at the wheels. So when Angel Reese flips off the fans, it is not just a bad look, it's a symptom of a deeper imbalance. She's not just reacting to hecklers, she's reacting to the way to the crown she never asked for but knows she's being compared against. Because when the league anoints one player as a star, everyone else feels like they've been cast as supporting characters in the Caitlin Clark cinematic universe. And that's not just frustrating, it makes every foul more personal, every hard screen more loaded, every clap back more viral. Angel's middle finger wasn't just a screw you to fans, it was a screw this entire double standard. But here's the twist, Angel Reese isn't wrong to be frustrated, not totally, because she's not just dealing with pressure, she's dealing with perception. Every time she celebrates, she's cocky. Every time Clark does it, passionate. When Angel talk trash, it's disrespectful. When Caitlin does competitive fire, see the pattern. You have to be a robot not to feel the way to that. And Angel Reese is not a robot. She's a person, an elite athlete who's been under the microscope since college and been dragged through social media trenches daily. So yes, time she snaps, but the middle finger wasn't just about emotion, it was about exhaustion, about feeling like no matter how hard she plays, she's never going to be the right kind of star for this league. And honestly, that's not just honor, that's on the WNBA, because they can't figure out how to celebrate all their stars Without pitting them against each other, does golden moment will turn to run fast. This whole thing, it's not sustainable. The toxic fan wars, the physical aggression, the inconsistent officiating, the PR disasters, the public brawl between media narratives, it's not just hurting players, it's exhausting. And two people came to this league for basketball, for greatness, for history, and making, not for celebrity boxing and sneakers and passive-aggressive subtweet from players. Official accounts. The WNBA needs realize you can build a legacy on drama, you build it on trust, on clarity, on accountability, which means a league needs make decisions and fast, because the next time Caitlin Clark gets knocked down, and there's no whistle, that might be the moment her fans check out for good. The next time and juries flips off a crowd, that might be the last straw for a sponsor on the fence. And the next time a viral woman isn't about an incredible three-point shot, but another petty scuffle, that might be the day sports networks quietly move your games back to the 3 p.m. Tuesday time slot. This is a turning point, a massive one, and the league in it to use as a call or keep sleepwalking into a future where they lose everything they just built. So what are they need to do? First, protect your stars, period. Clearer fouls, more consistent officiating, actual consequences for dangerous play. You don't let your franchise player get bodied mid-air and walk away with no whistle. Second, manager image. If a player just as at the fans say something, do something, not to punish emotion, but to remind everyone that professionalism still matters. This is still lead now. Reality show. Third, build a culture, respect between rookies and vets, between fans and players, between stars and role players. Everyone needs to feel like they belong or all falls apart. And lastly, stop trying to manufacture drama and start focusing on a game, because underneath all the chaos, the town is there, the moments, or there, the potential is right there. If the league stops to ripping over its own bad decisions long enough to let it shine. So here we are, a middle finger, a sideline star, a league on the edge of a breakthrough or breakdown. The ball is in their court now. What happens next? That depends on whether the WNBA chooses growth or just keeps giving us the next meltdown. You made it to the end, so let's talk. Should Angel Reese face consequences? Is a league playing favorites? Can a WNBA survive if Clark's not playing? I wonder what you think. Sound off in the comments. Subscribe of you live for sports drama, and get ready, because the next episode of the saga is probably already writing itself.